Hey, what's up, my fellow small business supporters? Today, I have a video for you guys that a lot of people have been requesting. I've had a few people be like, hey, Savvy, did you see that Kiki Chanel, fellow anti-MLM YouTuber, listened in on a Beachbody call? What do you think of that? What do you think of the call? Will you react to that? And I was like, yeah, sure. So today, I'm going to be reacting to the call, but because I'm shit with technology, I'm going to be reacting to Kiki's reaction to the call. I hope that makes sense. So I've linked Kiki Chanel's video in the description below.
I'm citing my sources because I'm not Rachel Hollis.
Kiki Chanel, you probably don't know who I am, but when the quarantine's over, if you want to collab in person, hit me up because so far you're the only other anti-MLM YouTuber I know who's in Chicago. So that'd be kind of cool. Anyway, let's get into this video. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel for the first time. I'm Savvy, and on this channel we talk about the world of being a small business owner. For me, that comes with a lot of writing videos because I'm a small business owner who owns a business that produces books and stuffed animals based on real rescue dogs. So I make lots of AuthorTube videos about my writing journey, and I also make a lot of videos in the anti-MLM genre because MLM companies or multi-level marketing companies are often the ones who are exploiting the idea of being a small business owner, who are trying to sell the dream of entrepreneurship to other people. And as a small business owner, I am not here for that type of exploitation, and I don't like how they take advantage of people's self-starting type of attitude. So if you are new to this channel, first of all, please make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you ring the little bell. I put out new videos every Monday and Friday, and every Wednesday night I do a live stream called the AuthorTube Sleepover, where we all get together and wear our pajamas and eat snacks and get a ton of writing done. So if that's your kind of thing, please make sure you come on over for that. So a few people have recommended this video to me because in this video, anti-MLM YouTuber Kiki Chanel has gone into the Beachbody group call, right? So for those of you guys who don't know, Beachbody is a multi-level marketing company that sells workout programs, fitness programs, and also like fitness shakes, like drinks that you're supposed to drink to lose weight or something. It's kind of shady. I did a video a little while back kind of breaking down Beachbody and their income disclosure statement and talking about how it's pretty much impossible to make money in this company. It's in my video called Girl Start Apologizing, where I reacted to Rachel Hollis speaking at the Beachbody conference. And in that video, I talked about how Beachbody, like on average, according to their 2018 income disclosure statement, on average, Beachbody coaches make like $400 a year in revenue, not in profit, in revenue. And then they have to spend like $200 a year just keeping their account active and like just to maintain their account with the company. So any company that says you have to pay to work for them, don't do that. Don't do that. But it's been found, you know, the FTC has done studies, and on average, most people involved in multi-level marketing companies lose money. Those who lose money often go into huge amounts of debt. So don't join an MLM company, friends. Just don't do it. Anyway, a lot of the criticism that MLM companies get is this idea that they use similar tactics that cults use in terms of how to recruit people, how to get them to stay in the company, right? Because the leaders up at the top of the pyramid, I guess I can't legally call it a pyramid scheme, but they're allegedly sometimes considered to be pyramid schemes. So the people up at the top of the pyramid have an incentive for people to stay in the company, right? Because the more people, those people sign up under them, you know, everyone gets a cut of everyone's commission leading up to the top, so the people up top keep profiting on new people being recruited into the company and on those people who are already in it staying in it, because often they are pressured to continue to buy more of the product. There's been a lot of criticism that these companies are using tactics that cults would use, such as things like encouraging people to cut themselves off from all family members and friends who don't agree with the company. Things like trying to convince people that any of their relatives or friends who don't support the company just don't believe that that person deserves success, like a lot of emotional gaslighting and that kind of thing, and it's really scary. So I'm interested to see how she actually handles this call. I think it's kind of shitty that Kiki didn't blur out the faces, so that's just my big criticism there. So I am going to try to blur these out the best I can. I apologize, but I think it's important to protect people's privacy. I am not someone who hates individuals in MLM companies. I don't have anything against individual representatives and individual sellers. I have a problem with the company structure and the culture that is created from that structure. So I'm not going to blame an individual person selling Beachbody and claim that they're a terrible person. I have friends who used to sell Beachbody. I have friends who use Beachbody's P90X workout and that kind of thing. But so a lot of individual people, I genuinely believe, go into everything with good intentions. But that doesn't mean that anything that the company does as a whole is excusable. So I think it's good to protect the privacy of people who are in the company, because a lot of times, MLMs prey on people who are kind of at their lowest point in life. They often try to take advantage of low-income women and try to get them into the company. So I think it's important that we try not to villainize people who are probably trying something as a last resort that's ultimately going to hurt them further, and instead try to show support and give those people resources to try to help them get out of those companies. My good friend Monica, who's a fellow anti-MLM YouTuber, has done similar videos on this topic, so I'll link some of her videos in the description below on that, because she has a lot more information also about the right ways to go about approaching that. So, without further ado, let's listen to the Beachbody call, and let's listen to Kiki's commentary, and let's all just react together.
First of all, someone that has cancer, guys, this can help people, and if someone has cancer, be kind, but also still invite them.
But here's the thing, she has cancer, and that alone is why she needs to be doing this.
Alright, I didn't get to the pause button fast enough. I was trying to pause when she said, someone who has cancer, that can be a good thing, so that I could yell about that. And then on my way to getting to the pause button, she jumped in with, someone has cancer, you can use this! Holy exploitation, Batman!
The reason she needs this is because she has cancer. That's what you say to people.
That's not what you ever say to people.
So many people come to me all the time saying, I have Crohn's, I have UC, I don't know if I can... You need this because you have Crohn's and UC. So
just a quick note for Kiki, I like that zoom. Nice work.
do not even hesitate to say that, guys. People need to hear that.
The exploitation element of MLMs is something I really hate. And it's not every rep in the company, and that's why I'm not here to hate on reps individually. But I definitely think there's some pressure from the people up top to give this idea of everyone needs your product. There is no excuse, there is no justification for why someone might not need your product, that kind of thing. And that's a thing that's often pushed in the high volume sales world as well. And as a business owner, I've got to say that is bullshit. Every business has a target audience and a target demographic. Every business has an ideal customer, and it's important to narrow your market and try to figure out exactly who that customer is so you can place yourself in front of them. Like, a lot of these MLMs will claim, everybody can be your customer, and then someone says, okay, well, this person has a medical issue, so they're not comfortable trying our supplement, or they're not comfortable trying this workout because their doctor said it's not okay. And that's when an MLM, corporate person up top might say, hey, well, that's all the more reason they do need it, because in that world, there's no reason anyone would ever not need this product. So we're 47 seconds into a 47-minute video, and I'm already this fired up. Here we go!
And by the way, this is a Beachbody coach. Look, they're always up to no good. You can always count on the Beachbody coaches to be up to no good. So, no different today.
Alright, so this is a criticism I have for Kiki, actually. For the most part, I'm going to be agreeing with the majority of what she says in this video, or at least that's the vibe I get, considering she's, also against MLMs, but I think this whole part, she's a Beachbody coach and they're always up to no good, I think that it's not quite victim blaming, but it has victim blaming elements in it. I do believe that a lot of people who have gotten roped into MLM companies are often victims of their circumstances. So while these Beachbody coaches in this video are going to be doing awful things, I think it's unfair to say that all of them are always up to no good. Like, the company structure is always up to no good. The founders of the company are up to no good. But, like, my friend Monica that I collab with all the time used to be a Beachbody coach, and that's actually what turned her towards the anti-MLM movement, because she realized how terrible and manipulative and awful the company was. But when, like, she's a good person. She wasn't, like, trying to scam people in the process. So I don't think it's fair to put that much judgment on every individual ever when a lot of people do enter it with good intentions. But then again, I am too trusting of a person. I do always give too many people the benefit of the doubt. I've had a few comments on my recent videos being like,
Hey, Savvy, you're going way too easy on Tony Robbins.
which, like, I was worried people wouldn't think I was going too hard on him, but I guess I have to just tear Tony apart even farther in the next video. Anyway, let's continue with this video.
And she has an interesting little henchman who makes the video a lot more interesting, who is, like, I guess her probably second in command. And you'll know who that person is. She's the Waluigi to the Wario. So here we go.
Everybody's saying no, and my family is telling me no, and my husband doesn't believe in this, and maybe I don't even believe in this, and, you know, maybe all those bitches I went to high school with are right, and I'm gonna fail at this. Raise your hand if you thought that at least one time today. You're not alone. Guess what? They're wrong. They're fucking wrong.
So this is something we talk about a lot with MLMs. I just recently did a video with Lillian Lalo, the host of the podcast called Toxic Positivity, where we talked about how MLMs use this thing called toxic positivity, right? The idea that we shouldn't have any negative thoughts. Sometimes self-doubt is good for you. And especially in business, in any business venture of any structure, some amount of self-doubt is good. When I'm running my business, there are times when I have to reflect on what I'm doing and think, okay, is this the right path for my business? Is this manufacturer the right one I want to go with for this? Is this person I want to hire the right person to hire? Is this path forward the right one? Do I want to change what I'm doing? Do I need to reach out to someone and tell them we need to do something differently? That's part of entrepreneurship, and it's also part of life. We all need to be willing to analyze our own situations and understand that things aren't always going to just be positive. So in this part, when they're saying, like, you know, did someone tell you that this business wasn't going to work, that you were going to fail at it? Well, they're wrong. You need to be pumped up. Like, that's not always true. If someone is telling you that what you're doing isn't working, then maybe you need to, like, listen and try to figure out what they're trying to say. And it's possible they are wrong, and if they're wrong, try to analyze why they felt that way. Like, there's just so many more layers here to that. Let's see what else we've got.
Stand up. I'm going to show you how wrong they are.
Wow.
Okay? Take your hand, put them up in the air, and you're going to be pulling energy from...
I can put my hands up in the air if you guys want to do this along with everyone, but I have a ton of armpit hair. I hope that doesn't bother anyone. In fact, based on a picture I put up on Instagram where my armpit hair was visible back in 2018, it's actually some people's fetish. So if that's your fetish, then I hope you're enjoying this video. If you don't like armpit hair, then, like, too bad. I'm gonna do the cult exercise with everyone. Here we go. We reach up, and what we do, we pull down the energy. All right, here we go.
From the universe into your body, and you're gonna breathe in when you're up and out of your nose on the down. Okay, it's not gonna fly. Just wipe it off and move on. And that you're wiping it on those bitches' face that I just talked about. Okay.
That's a little much, wiping it on those bitches' face. That's kind of funny though, right? Like, I also am too easily amused. I think everything is funny, so I'm like, even though I disagree with their business model, wiping it on those bitches' face, that's kind of funny. That's something I would say.
Okay. So, hands up, I'll count you in. And you'll just do it while I breathe, and then we'll stop, and we'll move on. Alright? Hands up. Go.
How are y'all doing it so fast?
Your eyes are still open. You already know what you're doing. Close your eyes and keep going.
Nope. Not closing my eyes.
Hands down. Palms up. Take your sleeve, wipe your nose. Take that hand and put it over your heart. Blood is pumping. It's beating pretty fast, right?
My heart's big. It's got hot blood going through it fast.
Right? A little bit freaky.
Oh, that's why we were going fast, to get the heart rate up. I see.
That was years ago at birth. You didn't have to do anything for it.
Actually, I did. I just had to make a fool of myself on the internet.
It's all good. I do that every day. Anyway, that's a little cult-like. Just like I don't know. I'm not gonna say, like, I don't want to be one of those people that, like, again, you guys know on my channel, I'm very big on, like, I only criticize things, like, in a balanced way. It's very important to me that I'm not just saying, oh, that's cult shit, that's cult shit, that's cult shit, because, like, a lot of times, you know, it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe you could apply it in another way. I don't want to weaken my own argument and weaken my own defense against MLM companies by saying something that's inaccurate. That's all I'm saying. So, it feels cult-like to me that everybody is doing this weird thing all in unison, but it also could just be like when I coached debate team kids, we would do like warm-up exercises to get them out of their shell and get them like talking fast and things like that. So, I don't know. Maybe it's fine. I don't know.
I'm animated. I'm alive. My heart's big. It's got hot blood going through it fast.
Yeah, I just want to remind you guys, again, we're doing this to get geared up to send Hey Girls on Instagram. Okay.
You didn't have to beg for it. You didn't have to borrow for it. You definitely didn't have to steal for it.
We're about to beg, borrow, and steal in the DMs.
You were born into this universe whether you wanted to be or not, and you were given that purpose. Every single day, if there is blood pumping in there, you're alive.
I'm a human. I got a life force. This is a human. This is what we look like.
You have a gift to give. The world, and it starts with you. You have a gift to give your fucking damn self. Forget about everybody else. This is about you right now. Okay? Feel that blood flow? Kind of out of breath? Kind of weird?
This is a bit much, I've got to say, because sending messages to people, sliding into people's DMs to say, hey hon, what's up? Have you heard of Beachbody and all of that? Like, even like I'm a business owner and it's important to me to remain passionate and keep in mind why I do what I do, but I feel like it's a little bit much to be like, you were put on this earth with a purpose. You are alive and you've got blood flowing through you. Like, I feel like that's something Alex Jones has said once or something. Like,
I'm animated. I'm alive. My heart's big. It's got hot blood going through it fast.
I'm alive, I've got hot blood running through me or something.
I like to fight, too. I like to eat.
Kind of uncomfortable? Every single time, keep your hand there. Every single time that you sit down and do this job, this is going to start to happen whether you pull energy from the universe or not.
Okay, if you're uncomfortable every time you do your job, why are you working for that company? Like, why? Because I feel like the MLMs, I feel like they're a little bit, like they try to have it both ways, right? Like they try to pitch it to people with like, do you want to work from home? Do you want to do a job that's easy? Do you want to work from your phone? Do you want to work only 10 hours a week and earn a full-time income? But then on the other side, once you're in it, it's like, this job is hard. No one said it was going to be easy. You need to work all the time. Like, you're a business owner, which you're not, no. But then it's like, you're supposed to be devoting full time to this. If you didn't succeed, you didn't work hard enough. So it's like two completely conflicting messages. And I think that's a problem. So I don't know why you would subject yourself to working for a company that it's ridiculously hard to make money at if you don't even like doing what the job entails. Like, just get literally any other job. It will pay better.
Okay? And I want you to remember right now and how energized you feel and how positive you feel and how I've started this by telling you that you were going to prove somebody wrong. You were fucking pumped. You were ready. Now you got your hand on your tit and you feel a little ridiculous, right?
Hell yeah.
Every single time you invite.
There we go. Big boob problems.
Grab your tit and remember who the fuck you are. Every time you hold yourself back.
Grab your tit and remember who the fuck you are. Oh my god, I cannot wait for the day I get breast reduction so that I can hold my lack of tit and forget who I am.
Every time you gain your way, don't send an invite to what your dad, mom, sister's dog walker might think about you. Give the fuck about that bitch. Seriously. How bad do you want it? Let's work.
Okay.
Also, the who gives a fuck about that bitch, like, it's not usually whatever's, like, your, did she say your dad's mom's sister? Would that be, like, your great aunt? I don't know. Whatever she said, like, it's usually people closest to you in your family. It's usually your best friends and, like, your parents and your siblings who are most worried about you. It's not, like, random people, like she said, your grandma's dog walker or whatever. It's usually not, like, someone you don't know. It's usually people close to you that care the most, that are coming at it from a genuine place.
Let's get to work, ladies.
Okay, here's the thing. I feel like I've been helping you guys play it safe by, let's engage with people. Let's connect with people. Let's get my team warmed up, because inviting is scary. Yeah? Well, guess what? Inviting is the only way you are going to grow this business.
She admitted it! Right? You have to recruit to grow your business. If this were not a pyramid scheme, it would be 1,000% possible to make a full-time living, or even a part-time living, or just a profit in general. It would be possible to profit just by selling products direct to customers. But because she just admitted the real way to make money and to grow in this business is to recruit other people, if recruiting other people is a requirement for profiting, then I would say that is what officially crosses the line into being a pyramid scheme.
The only way. So guess what we're going to do for an hour? Invite. We're not going to do shit else. You're not going to go and scroll through people's feeds to say, oh my god, maybe they made a good coach. Maybe we'll message them one day.
Well, I'm not going to scroll through. They're not going to vet the people they're trying to recruit to be a fitness coach? What? I mean, that's part of my problem with MLMs, right? Is this idea that there's a company that sells you the idea that without any experience, without any credentials, without any licensing or education, you can be a coach to someone else. You have the authority to coach people in health and fitness. Like, no. Health and fitness are things that people, like, you have to become. Like, I highly recommend this one channel. Her name is Benson. I will link her in the description below. She is actually registered to give people nutrition advice, and she made a video recently reacting to Arbonne's, like, 30-day diet cleanse or whatever, talking about it with, like, her actual medical knowledge of how food works and that kind of thing. There are people that train for this, that go to school for this, that get licensed for this, and to say, like, you don't have to scroll through their feed and think if they would make a good coach. Just send it to them. Just send messages about how they'd be a good coach. It's like, that just basically proves that when someone says, I think you'd be a good Beachbody coach, they don't actually know if you would or not. They have to say that to everybody, so it's literally meaningless. I don't want to trust someone to coach me, especially, like, I have scoliosis and a multitude of other physical and mental health problems, so I don't think I could trust somebody who has no training in a certain field to to coach me on, like, my workouts or my eating or things like that. That sounds like a way to end up in the hospital.
You're not going to go through and say, you know, oh my god, well maybe, like, how is your dog? Like, what breed is your dog? Like, we're not doing any of that bullshit today, because that is the comfortable work. I have come to the conclusion, based on numbers, based on strong facts, based on strong results, that nobody's actually doing the work, right?
So if what she's saying here, like, I think in a really twisted, convoluted way, she might kind of have a point, in the sense that, like, recruitment in these kind of things and in high volume sales is basically, when it comes down to it, a numbers game. There are a lot of people out there that are really against MLM companies, and if you reach out to them first by being like, hey, how's it going? How's your job? And you, like, try to fake a friendship first and then hit them with the MLM pitch, they're not going to say yes no matter what you say, so you essentially did waste all that time. Plus, for the people on the receiving end, like, I don't want to receive your MLM pitch because there's no way I would ever join. So, like, it is a waste of time, both for the people receiving the messages and for the people sending them. So to just cut to the chase so they know your intention right from the get-go, Honestly, I think that would make it easier for a lot of us to weed out the people we don't want to talk to in our DMs, so I don't fault her for that, even though she's essentially saying, don't treat people like a relationship, treat them like a sales pitch. That's a horrible way to treat people, but in terms of, I guess, success in numbers, she's probably right.
People are very comfortable adding people to their network. People are very comfortable making connections. People are...
Not always. I'm pretty comfortable making connections, but a lot of my family members and close friends are very introverted, and they have a really hard time with networking. They have a really, it stresses them out and causes them anxiety to try to make connections with other people. So I would say, no, that would be a problem. And if one of the prerequisites for working in, a company like Beachbody is that, making connections is the easy part, what we do is even harder, then, that would be no fun for anyone. It sounds like these people kind of hate their job too, though, so I don't even know what's going on here.
You're very comfortable posting on social media, sharing your journey, and doing all of those things. And while those are all great, those are not making you money and moving your business forward today. How many people are here to make money? I love everyone on this team. I would not be here taking time away from my family, taking time away from my kids. I could be cooking dinner right now.
Wait, isn't that one of the selling points of MLM companies, is that it's supposed to give you more time with your family? So now she's saying that to do her job right, she has to take more time away from her family? That doesn't compute.
I am not exaggerating when I say that I was in a shitty-ass relationship and this was my escape.
Whoa! First of all, I'm sorry to that woman for having to go through a shitty relationship, and I'm glad she did get out. At the same time, I think that's a terrible precedent to set to other people, that an MLM company can help you get out of a bad relationship. That's how cults recruit. I'm not gonna lie. If you're in a bad relationship and you're in a bad place in life, and someone tells you, this company helped me get out of this terrible relationship, that's targeting people at their lowest point. And I know she didn't say that directly, but I think the implication was there.
Sat down, headphones in, with the computer in my lap, next to him, to show presence, to be there with my family because they didn't support it. I put my headphones in and I listened to YouTube videos on how to grow my business while sending invites. I wasn't listening to YouTube videos on how to grow my business and connecting. I wasn't listening to videos and following people. I was literally sending out as many invites as I could until I couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. And then around 2 o'clock in the morning, I would go to bed. And then I would wake up at 6, do the kid thing, do the wife thing, and then do it again every single night. Guys, I was exhausted.
Here's another thing I want to point out. So, again, these are all coaches who said yes to the opportunity, right?
So in order to be successful in this business, she had to sleep only 4 hours a night, and while she was with her family, she had to be working at the same time. That completely shatters the idea that this is going to help you be more present with your family. This sounds like a miserable existence to me. I run an actual business where I actually created my products and I actually registered my LLC and all of that, and I can spend time with my family. Sure, I think I work a lot more hours than the average person, but I do get a full night's sleep every night. I sleep at least 8 hours, usually more. I'm a really tired person all the time. And I spend every evening with Tyler and with Chewie, and I see my parents, obviously right now we're in the pandemic, but before that, I would go to my parents' house a lot of, weekends, and I feel like it's not, this MLM opportunity, she's pretty much blowing open the whole facade. It's not good. So she's basically saying to people that they should have to work all day long, every day, not even being able to sleep half of a normal night's sleep for years before they expect to make any money. How does that sound like a lucrative business opportunity to everyone? That sounds like a miserable existence. I feel like you could go to school while still spending time with your family and holding down a part-time job somewhere else, and go to school to get certified in being a physical trainer or fitness trainer or something, and then do that for real, and you would make more money. So I feel like that would be such a better option if these people are actually in this company because they're interested in coaching other people in fitness. But if they're in it because they were sold this lie about how you can work part-time hours and make full-time pay and make six figures, then I feel really bad for them.
Sounds good.
Some would say I was obsessed. Some would say I went a little crazy with it. But guess what? I make 7 figures doing this shit now, and who gives a fuck what they think?
Just because you make 7 figures doing something, first of all, does she make 7 figures in revenue or in profit? That's a huge difference, right? Does she actually make 7 figures, or does she bring in 7 figures and then spend 7 figures on, you know, advertisements, on business operation costs, on buying inventory and product and all that kind of thing? Or does she actually, and even let's say she actually makes 7 figures in her taxable income, right? Even in that case, it's like, first of all, because of your business's structure, a lot of that money you're making is a percentage of all of these people's commission below you. So they're actually giving up part of their commission to feed into your 7-figure income. So that's a little shady. And on top of that, I make 7 figures, so who cares what they think? There are a lot of people who make a lot of money doing very unethical things out there. If someone's out here, like, as an assassin or something, and they make tons of money killing people, just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean I'm not going to judge you. Obviously, I'm not comparing it to something that extreme, but my point is that saying I make a lot of money, so obviously this is okay, is a shitty argument and never holds up.
Okay? So I am asking you guys to make a sacrifice for yourself. I don't care if your spouse supports you. I don't care if your mom hates what you're doing. You shouldn't care either. This is your business.
That is the cult tactic right there, to say, like, who cares what the people close to you in your life who supposedly care about you and love you and want the best for you, who cares what they think? Obviously they never actually cared about you or loved you. That's like the gaslighting thing. Like, and sure, I'm not saying there are people out there who want to start a legitimate business or who have a dream and their family might not be supportive because their family wanted them to go into a different career path or whatever. That definitely happens. This is different than that. If your spouse does not support what you're doing, you either need to reevaluate that relationship or reevaluate what you're doing. In this case, it would be reevaluating what you're doing, because a lot of times spouses who are against MLMs are that way because they see the bad effects it's having on the life of the person that they love. So I think that's just terrible advice. Like, don't listen to the haters. Don't listen to people who you trust and care about. I think you should. I think that's one of the most damaging ideas in business, that you should not listen to what other people tell you, that you should block out criticism. That's absolutely false. I've heard business gurus saying no one has time to listen to criticism, no one has time to criticize other people, and that's just a lie. Maybe I'm an outlier, but in my experience in business, I have found that criticism is incredibly valuable, and it's important to listen to it. It doesn't mean you have to take every single piece of criticism that someone gives you. If someone, like, for example, I've had people give me, like, weird-ass feedback on my book, someone, like, or something like that, and it's like, okay, you're literally the only person that's ever thought that, so it doesn't matter. Like, then you can get rid of that. But if someone gives me feedback about something important, obviously I'm going to listen to that, and even if I choose not to take their advice in the end, to say to just ignore everyone who's criticizing you is the opposite of how you grow in business and as a person, at least in my opinion.
Okay? And if you want to make a change, if you are not okay being comfortable where you are, then you have to show up. And I don't want to hear excuses anymore, guys. It's exhausting to me to have to get a message saying, well, my dog was sick and I don't care. You should have been sending invites from the fucking vet.
Nope. Okay. Y'all know I'm a dog person, right? When I say I'm a small business owner, my business is related to dogs, right? I produce children's books, stuffed animals, and other merchandise based on real rescue dogs and their journeys to adoption.
ForeverHomeFriends.com linked in the description below. 10% of profits benefit animal shelters.
When Chewie gets sick, I have to prioritize him. I do. That doesn't mean I stop working. It doesn't mean I stop, doing my job and that kind of thing. But while I'm at the vet, I have to pay attention to him. He gets very anxious at the vet, and I have to make sure he's feeling okay. It's called having empathy. Sometimes you need to have empathy for someone else, even if it's a dog, right? Even if the person, or I guess not person, even if the other being you're having empathy for is an animal, still need to have empathy, right? If you're at the vet, you need to be managing your dog. If your dog is sick, sometimes you're going to have to pay expensive vet bills. Like, this could just go on forever. Like, do not encourage people to neglect their pets. That's some young living type of shit.
Again, it's this stark difference, okay, between what people are told about working in some pockets of time, do this whenever, just work from your phone, and it's kind of like a passive, easy thing. And then there's, you need to be sending advice while a crisis is going on, right? There's all these people that brag. We saw it in the last video. I'm so thankful I get to take time away and just be with my family and spend time with my family members and not have to worry about crisis and taking time off.
The point that she's bringing up here, that Kiki's saying, is exactly what I was trying to say. She's spot on about that. That, like, the whole business's pitch is like, you can spend more time with your family, you can be there for them, you don't have to miss big events, and then they turn around and say, like, you should be having to work while a huge crisis is going on in your life. While there's an emergency, you can't stop doing your job. That's inhumane to both the person and the dog in this situation. That's not okay. People have to, like, even, I'm literally a workaholic. Like, my only things I enjoy doing, I mean, other than right now playing Animal Crossing, but for the most part, the only things I like to do are related to my career and my, like, what I'm, like, that's all my hobbies are job related. But even I know, like, you can't actually work 24/7. You need to be doing other things, and if this business is trying to promote that to you, it sounds like these people were sold on a false premise. That's how it's coming across, and I find that really sad.
I'm a good person, I swear. I'm a good person. And I have...
You have to say that? Probably not.
It's like when people have to say I'm a good person. It's kind of like when people have to say my company's not a pyramid scheme. It's like most people don't have to say their company's not a pyramid scheme. Similar, like most people don't have to say I'm a good person. Like, I guess I do say I'm a good person sometimes, but I think... Actually, I don't usually say that. I'm usually like, I'm so rude on the internet all the time. Why do you guys like me? But, yeah, I don't know. I think that's just because I talk a lot and I kind of say everything that's on my mind. But for the most part, like, if you're worried that people are doubting that you're a good person, you wouldn't refute that by saying, I'm a good person. You would refute that by giving examples of, like, your actual good intentions behind this. But it's similar to saying my company's not a pyramid scheme. You wouldn't just, like, they do just say it's not a pyramid scheme and we're supposed to believe that, but instead of being like, it's not a pyramid scheme because nobody below you gets, you don't get a percentage of their commission or that kind of thing. Like, that would be an actual argument, but that's not true, so they don't say that. Anyway, moving on.
I have a big heart, and I'm always this passionate because I care about your guys' success.
She profits off of their success. Obviously she cares, because that's the company's set up so that you profit off of the person below you. And like, I don't know if it's true in Beachbody, but in a lot of companies it's just like the person below you signing up and buying inventory and being a member that you profit off of, or them getting like their auto ship of products. So even if someone like signs up below her and they just get an auto shipment of like Shakeology powder every month, she would still profit off of that. So I don't know if she really cares about their success as much as she cares about the commission check. Again, I'm not here to analyze this one person's intentions. I'm just saying that, like, within the company structure, people are incentivized to want people below them because it benefits them, not because they actually have any reason to care about those people as humans.
It is so hard. So hard. And one day you will realize, and you will message me. I remember on that 1 power hour when you said this, and now I get it. It is so hard to recruit people to this business. Guys, there's 29 people on this call, there's thousands on our team. Fucking thousands. That alone is hard to see. But what's hard to see and hear is recruiting people, like you guys on this call, and hearing how bad you need this to work.
Okay, lot to unpack here. First of all, there are thousands of people on her team. She recruited thousands of people into Beachbody? That's ridiculous. Second of all, the whole, like, how bad you need this to work, I'm bracing myself because this sounds like we're gonna have some, like, top-notch exploitation here.
Your life is a mess. You're drowning in debt, right? You're so sick with Crohn's or UC, and you're miserable, and your relationships are terrible, and all...
Oh, yeah, she went exactly like where I thought she would. She'd be like, you're in debt. You have illnesses and you need to pay your hospital bills. You guys need this, right? It's like, if you actually, like, I'm not her specifically, I'm talking about the company as a whole, like, the actual best thing for people, if they're facing a crisis, would be to save money and maybe, I don't know, I mean, there's a whole systemic issue regarding that, but MLMs are absolutely not the answer.
All of these things that you tell me when you sign up, right? And then to sit back for months and watch people half-ass this, when this is the answer, and I
literally just said it wasn't the answer. Now you're saying it is the answer. Is this a debate?
God, I hope you believe that. Because it is so hard to sit and watch people just half-ass this business when it is literally the answer to your problem.
Nope.
You just have this fear of being successful.
Oh my god, okay, I actually hate that. I actually hate that whole, like, a fear of being successful. No one's afraid of being successful, okay? Someone's gonna come at me in the comments like, actually, I'm afraid of being successful because I'm worried it'll change me as a person or whatever. Okay, I'm talking about, at large, the reason that people don't succeed in MLMs is not a fear of success. It's, first of all, a fear of alienating all of their friends and family. Second of all, it's a system that's statistically set up so that it's difficult to have success in it. But this whole fear of success thing, this is like what I criticize Rachel Hollis for talking about, right? When she talks about how, like, no one who has ever accomplished more than you will ever criticize you for what you're doing, which is, again, it's a straw man argument. It's a logical fallacy the way you set that up. You're creating a point that isn't there so that you have something that's easier to refute to make yourself look smarter as a result. So when you say, like, you're so afraid of success, here's why you shouldn't be afraid of success. Like, the people, they're not afraid of success in the first place. Like, you made that up, right? I will say that I would never do an MLM, and I'm not afraid of success. Like I said earlier, I'm a workaholic. I work well over a full-time work week as, you know, running my own business, also producing all this content and stuff like that. And no, I'm aiming for success. Like, growing my business, if you guys have seen any of my videos that I've done about Forever Home Friends and why I'm so passionate about that and all of that, running my business is the most important thing to me. So, like, I don't fear success. I just know that success is not going to come to you from Beachbody. There's a difference. And the fact that she's setting up, like, that false argument is manipulative. I see it that way.
So many people have a fear of being successful, right? So many people have a fear of being uncomfortable. So many people have a fear of what their family's going to think. You are letting that fear pause your success and pause your future.
No, so no one does have a fear of success. They're afraid of their family criticizing them, which is a valid fear, because if you do believe that these people want the best for you in your life, then you should be willing to listen to them over someone who's actively profiting off of you. So, still disagreeing with you there.
Because guess what? I want you to close your eyes and think about it a year from now. If you keep doing exactly what you did today, where are you going to be a year from now? Exactly what you did today.
Well, today I filmed like a fuck ton of videos, so if I keep doing exactly what I did today, maybe a year from now my YouTube channel will be huge. That'd be cool, guys. Let's make it happen.
Just today, how many invites did you send? How many coaches did you work with? How many new people did you recruit? If you did exactly what you did today, every single day for a year, close your eyes and where would you be?
No one should do the same thing every single day for a year, because you need to take breaks. Even I struggle to take a day off, but when I do, sometimes I'm like, today I'm literally going to play video games all day. And that's it. And then the next day I'm like, alright, I needed that day off, I'm relaxed, let's go, right? Like, you need a day off sometimes.
I'm not asking you guys to eat, sleep, and breathe Beachbody. I did.
You literally are. You're saying, what? How are you not? What?
And it worked for me.
She is kind of asking people to do that. I mean,
Yeah. Okay. Kiki said. Okay, we're having a lot of the same reactions to this, so I hope my video is still offering you guys something new.
That means getting uncomfortable. That means sending an invite to the people that you need to send invites to, even though you don't want to.
So she's right in the sense that you do need to step outside your comfort zone to be successful, especially often in business you have to learn, like if you're going to own a business, which Beachbody is not owning a business, but if you are an entrepreneurially minded person and you want to own a business, there are going to be some things you have to do that are going to take you outside your comfort zone. So maybe that is, you know, hiring an employee. Maybe it's networking and meeting someone new. Maybe it's pitching your business to an investor. There are going to be some points where you're like, I'm not comfortable with this. I'm new at this. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, that's going to happen, and that is okay. And you should be up for that challenge. Otherwise, you are going to struggle in business. So she is right about stepping outside your comfort zone. But just the rest of this is all so wrong that I lost the plot. I don't even remember what she said after that.
Okay? Fast forward a year from now. Where do you want to be? Are you okay being in the exact same spot, or are you needing that to change? That's what you have to ask yourself. And if you need it to change, stay on this call. And let's...
No, if you need it to change, get off the call, cancel your Beachbody membership, and find something else. If you need to work from home to spend more time with your kids, this lady has just shown you this company is going to take time away from your family. So if you need to spend more time with your family, get a different work from home job that's hourly instead of commission based. Because commission based is always going to take more time. It's essentially kind of like freelance work. It's going to take more time. You're never guaranteed a certain paycheck. If you need financial stability and guaranteed time at home with your family, you can go online and you can Google it. There are tons of customer service work from home jobs. But if you're ambitious and you want to be entrepreneurial, like she's saying, and you're passionate about coaching people in fitness, maybe get one of those jobs in the meantime while you go to school and get a license to become a fitness trainer. Like, there are paths to this, and if you're like, oh, that sounds way too hard, like what she's describing is also way too hard. So regardless, there's going to be stepping outside your comfort zone, but this path is probably going to lead to debt. Anyway, I've said my piece.
Let's do some invites. If you're not ready and you're already pissed off at me, get the fuck off the call, okay? I'm over it.
I guess I have to get off the call. That kind of sucks because there's still, what, like 20 more minutes to react to? I'm getting hungry as hell, though.
Over it.
guys, really?
Let's send some invites. I'm not even going to walk you through an invite, guys. You guys know how to invite, okay? I'm over this. I'm over it. You know how to invite. You know who to invite. You need a place to start? Go to Facebook and start at AA. Okay? Aaron's going to come up. He needs an invite. Okay? You've already gone through all of Facebook? Go to Instagram and start it.
So she really is saying invite literally everyone. Like, even if they have no interest in fitness coaching, even if they have no experience in this, even if, you know, they have shown, like, just invite everybody. That should show you that, like, it's not credible to follow someone's fitness advice from one of these companies because they will take anybody. That's weird. Like, you're wasting your time too if you don't find target customers or your target audience. Also, in terms of customers, like, this business this call for this team has not once focused on the customer. Like, you ever heard the term "the customer is always right"? I mean, I disagree with that. But beyond that, the idea behind that, right, is that you need to be putting the customer's needs, like, you need to be analyzing that in terms of what you put out and what you focus on within the business, is who is the end customer, who is the consumer. And in this, they're just talking about recruiting more employees, recruiting competition for themselves, essentially. That doesn't make any sense in, like, a business sense. Like, why would you not even be, like, who's the customer to you? Is the customer the other people you want to work on your team? Like, are all these people this woman's customers? Does she consider them customers? Because I think that's the thing that it's, like, in this day and age, sometimes it's hard to remember that we need to analyze who is the customer and who is, you know, the business, who's the seller, who's the buyer, that kind of thing. And it used to be like hundreds of years ago, right? It was much clearer because it was like, oh, this person is selling me, I don't know, a block of cheese. I am their customer because I give them money and they give me their block of cheese. Great. Today in the world of social media, it's very different because if you look at Facebook, right? A website like Facebook, who's the customer and who's the seller? Well, Facebook doesn't make money, like you don't pay to be on it. Same thing with Twitter, any social media site essentially, on YouTube. You don't pay to use those sites and then you get stuff from you use the sites for free. So you're not the customer. The customer are all the people who are paying for ad revenue. They're the customers. And the product that's being sold is our attention. So our attention is the product. Buying ad space is also the product. Like, if that makes sense. I don't know, it's more convoluted. So that's the point, is that, like, sometimes in this day and age, I think it's really important to step back and analyze who is the end customer, who is the seller, and what is the sales model, and how is that product getting to the customer. This is, a lot of people call Beachbody and other MLM companies direct sales, which they're not. Their MLMs are not direct sales, at least in my opinion. The Direct Selling Association might say otherwise, so feel free to drag me. But direct sales, to me, implies that you sell a product directly to a customer. They pay you for it, and we move on. This call has not once talked about selling a product to a customer. It's not talked about getting someone to sign up to buy a workout program, to buy a shake. It's talked about recruiting people to be other coaches. So who's the customer? Everyone involved. That's the answer. Everyone involved is the customer. Everyone's the customer and the seller, and that's why it's going to collapse. It doesn't make sense.
1, 2, 3, 4, Joan. Whatever the fuck her name is, okay? Start inviting people. I don't care if you think they would benefit from coaching or they would benefit from a group. I want you to talk to them and I want you to invite them, okay? Everybody. I'm going to sit and I'm going to do the exact same thing. Not even going to play music. You want to chat? If you have a question, please unmute yourself. Literally, I want you all to just sit and do invites all day long. Now, I am here to help walk you through them. Yes, if you send an invite or you have questions or messages in your inbox and you have a question about one of them or you need help with what to say to one of them, I am so happy to help. Okay? Unmute and please let me help you walk through those conversations, because guess what? As new coaches, you really do not have any idea how to talk to people. Okay? You might think you do, but you don't. So I want to help walk you through those conversations.
If it's on social media and they're still watching, I'll go back in 3 days later. What's up? Still watching my stuff? Why aren't you doing this with me? And I'll send a video of myself saying that too, in that tone of voice. If it's an email, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. But honestly, I'll follow up every week with somebody, because if they gave me their email, it means that they actually are interested even in cut hair.
No. A lot of times people who connect with you, it's not because they're interested, it's because, like, they thought you were their friend or want to have a relationship with you. And I hate this, right? Like, because some people might want to make this argument to me and say, hey, Savvy, you're so against people just DMing everyone and asking this, but when you ran a Kickstarter, you DM'd every single person you knew and told them about the Kickstarter. I did. I think that's different for two reasons. First of all, if that annoyed you, I'm genuinely sorry. But for two reasons I do think that's different. One, because I was trying to tell them about, like, a thing that I had made and was putting out there, rather than trying to recruit them into a company. Like, there was no, like, I wasn't trying to get you to be a part of anything. I just wanted to tell you about a thing I made. So I think that's different. But if you don't, that's fine, whatever. Second of all, I did no follow-ups, right? No follow-ups, no weekly, no harassing people about something that if they showed no interest, like, I made a rule for myself when I did this, because when I was running a Kickstarter and I was new at it, that was advice people gave me, which was tell every single person you know about it. Not everyone's going to see the social media posts. Facebook often hides posts about Kickstarter because Facebook has a competing crowdfunding platform, all of that kind of thing. So it was like, tell everybody you know individually. And I said, okay, but because, you know, I believe in the anti-MLM, but I was like, I really don't want to come across like someone who's trying to monetize a friendship. Like, I hate that. So I made a rule for myself, which is if somebody either says, no matter what their response is, honestly, no matter what their response is, I talk to them about it one time unless they bring it up. We talk about it once otherwise. So, like, if I DM someone and say, hey, I'm not sure if you know, I have 3 days left on this Kickstarter. I'm trying to raise money to launch my new stuffed animal line based on these real rescue dogs for my business that helps benefit animal shelters, whatever my message said. If I said that and someone said, I don't have the money to pre-order anything. Okay, cool. If someone said, I'm just not really that interested in the products. Okay, cool. We connected for a reason, so it's like, cool, what else is going on in your life? I'm never going to talk to you about this again because you're not a dollar sign to me, you're a person. I wanted to tell you about this, but if you are not interested in it, then I'm not going to try to hard sell you on something. So after, like, or if someone, even if someone didn't respond, I would usually take that as they're not interested. And sometimes people responded like months later, like, whoa, I didn't even see this message. That's cool, you ran a Kickstarter. Thanks for telling me. I'm sorry I didn't see this or something. But the whole like following up thing, I would feel disgusting. I already even sometimes still feel decent guilt about the messaging everyone wants thing. And so if you want to tell me I'm an asshole for that, like, you're welcome to. But I do want to be honest about the fact that I did that so that no one's like, Savvy is exposed for DMing people for a Kickstarter. Anyway, you can expose me if you want. I'm desperate for attention. Anyway, I feel like the whole following up thing is when it turns from like, even if the Beachbody coaches were all like, I'm going to message everyone I know once about it, like, I still wouldn't like that because I think Beachbody's a scummy company. But at least they'd only be doing it once. This whole follow-up, every week follow-up, and especially, like, how she was going to send people messages specifically calling them out, saying, like,
I see you're still following me. Why don't you want to join my Beachbody team?
Like, that's creepy.
And you're an idiot if you give your email to someone and don't get spammed. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Commit. Go all into this business. Be a network marketer. Be okay with emailing people.
Wait, so you're an idiot if you give your email to someone and don't expect to get spammed? So are they admitting they're spamming people? And are they saying that everyone who gave them their email is basically consenting to be sales pitched? Because what if someone just gave you their email address because, like, they're your friend, or like because they wanted to email you about something else? Has like the entire concept of like human empathy gone out the window here? I don't understand.
So I just meant like they're in my Instagram. They're not even engaging in my stuff, but they're still following me. So
Message them and be like, literally a video of yourself. Like, video yourself, be like, yo, what's up? I see you watching all my stuff. How come you're not doing this with me yet?
okay,
That's it. They're going to be like, oh my God, thank you for sending me a personal message. Save that message, by the way, when you record the video, and send that to every single person that keeps watching your stories.
That makes no sense. I cannot imagine, like, can they put themselves in the mind of a customer? Like, I cannot imagine if someone sent me a video, like, someone I was following, because, like, I follow people on Instagram that I don't know that well. Like, I follow, like, a lot of writers. I like to see people's writing content. I follow a lot of accounts, a lot of dog accounts, like, accounts for a lot of reasons. So if someone I just followed because I liked their pictures or I liked something else about them that was unrelated to this, if they DM'd me all of a sudden and they were like, hey, you're following me, why aren't you interested in this one specific aspect of my personality, which is not the original thing you followed me for? And they did it in a video, I would feel, like, very attacked.
hey girl, I am starting a group on November 1st, and you're the first person, I don't care if you have to lie, the first person that came to my mind. I think you need to join my accountability group. I have it starting November 1st. I'd love to chat with you more about it.
Okay, this is an interesting point she's making here, right? Which is like, you know, encouraging the audience, please don't fall for this. So, to an extent, everyone who is a part of this company right now, they saw something in it that made them want to join. And again, I'm not going to assume they had scammy or bad intentions, because I think a lot of people do join these companies thinking it's going to help them at the time. So I think a lot of these people, they probably joined it with that. But now that they're actually on the other side, seeing how people get recruited, wouldn't that blow the cover off of whoever recruited them, thinking they would be good for it? Like, wouldn't all these other people be kind of like, wait, so if this is how you recruit people, does that mean that I was just another number in the numbers game to you? Like, why am I even in this? Like, I feel like that should cause some self-reflection.
Or, you know, that's like the allure of the MLMs is like, oh my god, this really attractive person who's got their life together thinks I'm gonna be the next big thing. And you cannot fall for that because they've sent that same message to 1,000 other people.
Yeah, here's a fun example of that. Someone once messaged Chewie on Instagram. Chewie has his own Instagram. They messaged him trying to get him to promote some kind of Olive Garden coupon. Chewie just responded to that and said, "Unfortunately, I'm not allowed in Olive Garden because I am a dog."
Every person is going to message you with some nonsense, whether they have a chronic illness or not. Us, with chronic illnesses, are going to send you the most nonsense because we identify with it until we learn not to anymore. So I would write back to that, oh man, so does my coach. I would love to give you more info about how this lifestyle has completely changed both of our lives.
Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa! So I don't personally have a chronic illness, but I do have a lot of health problems, and I do have a lot of people very close to me in my life who have specifically chronic illnesses. One reason that I am very careful about which workouts I follow is I have scoliosis. My back gets injured and hurt very, very easily. So I have to be very careful about how I treat it, and I've gone physical therapy and that kind of thing. I know other people who have, you know, specific autoimmune diseases, and they can't eat certain things that someone might be pushing, or they have to be very careful about what supplements they take or that kind of thing. And she was basically saying, like, I don't know, here's the thing, I'm confused on if she's saying that she has a chronic illness so she can talk to them about it from experience, or if she's saying to lie and pretend you have a coach with a chronic illness. That makes a huge difference which one she's doing, by the way, because if it's the second one, then it's like, you could be intentionally giving people inaccurate medical information, which is, I don't even need to explain why that's bad.
What's a good email to reach you at? Probably easier there. They literally can write back to me, unless they write back to me that they are unable to eat and breathe, then I'm inviting them and saying, oh, I'd love to give you more info, and I'll put, like, a little thing at the beginning if they write a sob story, just because I'm not an awful person, because I remember that my first message was, I can't do this and this and this and that and blah. So, like, I remember that, but I'm also like, why limit yourself? I'd love to give you more info. Just a conversation. Let's get an email to reach you at.
You are not a doctor. You're not a doctor.
You're not a doctor.
I don't see how everybody thinks it's okay to, I'm not going to quite say practice medicine without a license. That is a crime. Gary Young, founder of Young Living, is guilty of that crime. These people are not necessarily, so I'm not here to accuse anybody of anything, but why limit yourself? Why would you encourage someone to take health advice from someone unlicensed? Someone who doesn't know the specifics of what you're going through? Why? Why?
No, I don't want to buy your products. Okay, well, fuck you then. Just kidding, don't say that.
Okay, at least she's kidding, but that's rude. Like, I feel like part of going into business is understanding that you'll have a target customer and you'll have people who aren't your customer. There's literally no product in the world that is for everybody. So part of being a business owner, which again, Beachbody's not business owner, but even part of selling the idea, like they're trying to sell the idea of entrepreneurship, right? Part of even being a salesperson is understanding that there are people who are going to want your stuff and people who are not going to want your stuff, and to understand that you need to spend more time on the people who show interest, not people that you go through mental gymnastics to convince yourself are showing interest, but people who actually show interest. There's a huge difference. Those are the people to spend your time on, not people who are like, hey, I don't want this. And you're like, well, clearly they're still interested because they follow me on Instagram. Like, no, that is some serious mental gymnastics.
Listen, everyone's going to tell you they don't have money, because everybody has the money, they all just got the new iPhone, that's why they don't have money. It's not.
No, not everyone has money. That's, what? That's factually false. What?
But they, like, don't have money they're following you on Instagram, which is a free app that's only downloadable onto a smartphone. So they have fucking money. It's not like they're at the public library calling, okay?
You can follow Instagram from a desktop computer at a public library. Also, just because you have a phone doesn't mean you currently have money. It's entirely possible that you bought your phone while you were employed and then later became unemployed and are now saving every cent. Like, there's infinite possibilities. That's incredibly ridiculous that she's saying that.
So, call themselves out on the bullshit. You too.
This idea, this thing that these people have latched onto, like, oh, you're on an iPhone, you're on a $1,000 smartphone, you're on a, whatever, so therefore you must have the money to join my pyramid scheme. No. The one thing of advice that I was given before I started working at Sephora, which always helped me, and I think it's just a great thing in life if you're in sales, is to never determine somebody's budget for them. Right? So you should never assume somebody has more money than they do. You should never assume somebody doesn't have money.
I think that's good. I'm glad Kiki's giving her advice based on working in sales too, because I wish she'd do more of that in her videos, because I feel like, being a perspective of someone, I don't know what working at Sephora is like. I assume she did like commission, like I guess probably paid hourly and then also commission on top of that. I don't know what it was exactly, but based on having worked in a job where she had to make sales and that was a big part of what she had to do. Like, Kiki, if you're watching this, which you're probably not, but if you are, I would love to see in your videos you delve a little bit more into breaking down how your sales experience differs from the sales tactics used in MLMs, because I try to do that with my life as a business owner, and I think that would be a fascinating angle to see.
Who might have money? It goes both ways. You can never assume that people have money just because they have an iPhone. So this next one, though, this next part is wild.
First of all, someone that has cancer, guys, like, I don't have cancer, but I have chronic illness, and this has helped my health. I know that FDA doesn't claim it. I don't care.
You're not a doctor.
I want to become a fucking ASMR channel because of you. Is it too obvious of a statement for me to say, not every illness is the same? I feel like everybody knows that, but here she is being like, oh, you have cancer? Well, I have a different illness, and it helps me with that. What? Treatments for different illnesses are different. No shit? What? How can you claim that because it helped you, even though you even admit yourself that the FDA said that you shouldn't be making these medical claims? Maybe it helped you for a different reason. Maybe it wasn't, like, you're not a doctor. Again, because it helped you doesn't mean it's going to help someone specifically with cancer just because it helped you with your illness, if it even really did. That makes no sense.
This has helped my health significantly. For me, so guys, this can help people, and if someone has cancer, be kind, but also still invite them.
But here's the thing.
Be kind, but still invite them? Pick one!
She has cancer, and that alone is why she needs to be doing this.
I'm positioning myself. Trying to be prepared to hear her justification for this.
That alone. That's, like, guys, so much stuff is related to the way we're eating. Like, if you didn't hear Carl and Isabel talk about it on stage about how we're exposed to all kinds of bullshit by walking outside. Like, inhaling this and things in our skin and in our mind.
What do I even say? What do I even say that you're not already thinking? I could go on, you're not a doctor, obviously you don't know that, you can't determine what caused someone's cancer.
In her body and all these rays of this and UV and all this shit. The reason she needs this is because she has cancer. That's what you say to people.
Okay. I feel like that, if I can figure out how to make that the thumbnail, we'll see. Because this freeze frame on how, like, what Kiki's reaction is, oh my god! First of all, how patronizing can you be to a potential customer for them to say, I can't do this because of this, and for you to say, that's why you need it. As if they don't know their own medical history and circumstances better than you, a stranger, does? I feel like, you know how people say mansplaining? I feel like this is MLM splaining. Can we make that a term?
Are these the two scummiest people on Earth? Let me know. Are these the two scummiest people on planet Earth?
Because you asked whether the scummiest people on Earth, I would urge you to check out Grant Cardone. And, oh shit, who did I make a video? Micah Stauffer, the lady. Oh my god, we're not going back to that.
Please don't scam people with cancer, okay? Please don't. Please don't make people with cancer who already have crazy medical bills pay for workouts that could be and should be free. Okay? Free. Free. Okay? On YouTube. Check it out. On YouTube. Free. Okay? Free. Nutritional advice. Free. Okay? People give that out for free. Nothing Beachbody offers is necessary. And
I agree that Beachbody shouldn't be, like, you shouldn't be paying for Beachbody, but I don't think that necessarily, like, I do use free YouTube workouts, but, you know, the people who create those, they're small business owners themselves, not Beachbody. People who are actual physical trainers who create workout videos, they're small business owners, so they do need to make money somehow. Maybe they're making money from ad revenue, I don't know, but I don't think it's great to say that you should be able to get everything for free just because, like, I mean, you know, Kiki should know that she's a content creator as well. Like, we all deserve to get compensated for our time. But I agree with that you shouldn't be paying Beachbody level of prices. Yeah. Same thing with, like, nutritional advice. I think there is a lot of value in paying to see a licensed nutritionist or a licensed dietitian or a doctor, because that person went to school for it. That person has legitimate knowledge on this, and again, it's like it's a slippery slope to go down when you start expecting people to do things for free. I made a video on this about how I don't work for free as a writer, and you know, there's the things to say about, like, when maybe the customer shouldn't have to pay, maybe there's ad revenue, or maybe there's some kind of other subscription model, or like whatever. Sure, we can have that conversation, but I think saying everything should be free is a slippery slope I'm not a fan.
People come to me all the time, and I'm sure Lindsay gets the same thing. I have Crohn's, I have UC, I don't know if I can. You need this because you have Crohn's and UC. That's it. So do not even hesitate to say that, guys. People need to hear that.
No! I feel like people normally, in their right mind, maybe, again, I've said it, I'm too idealistic, I trust people, I assume the good too easily, and maybe that makes me naive and stupid, I don't know, but I feel like most people would feel uncomfortable saying to someone, oh, because you have this, let me sell it. I feel like most people would be uncomfortable exploiting someone's illness unless they had been instructed to do that and convinced over a long period of time by people that they were taught to trust, who had encouraged them to cut out people who said they shouldn't trust them, so that that's their only source of information now. Then they might start to think genuinely that that's a good course of action. So I would say, I think this is pretty strong implication that there's probably some cult shit going on. Just my thought. That's all for today. I cannot take this shit anymore, which I don't have to. The video's pretty much over. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Let me know if you like this kind of format of reaction type of videos I've been doing, because I'd love to do some more of these. I find them fun. Let me know your thoughts. I find them to be a good way to kind of look at something directly and also talk about it at the same time. So, be interested to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Every Monday and Friday we talk about life as a small business owner, as an author, and we also love to roast scammers and call out multi-level marketing and other business gurus that are being unethical in how they are targeting people. If you want to support some real small business owners, please don't forget to check out my small business shout out video, which is linked up in the cards. There are tons of awesome small business owners to support, or you could take a look at my small business, which is linked in the description below, foreverhomefriends.com. 10% of profits from all products benefit animal shelters. They're books that I wrote myself, stuffed animals that my mom designed, toys that I designed on a 3D modeling program and made in the 3D printer, so none of this is resold from an MLM company. This is a real legitimate small business. If you guys are interested in any of that, please take a look at that. If you'd like to support the channel, feel free to take a look at the Patreon. This video was brought to you by my awesome Patreon supporters. Here they are. Thank you guys so much for making this video and my channel keep going, and just thank you for your support. I appreciate it so much. You guys are all the best. I'll see y'all again soon. In the meantime, don't forget to support small businesses that are not multi-level marketing companies.